Speak Your Truth, fam. This is your girl, Yana Positive, with another episode of Speak Your Truth, the Untold. Here at Speak Your Truth, we seek to create an IREE space, inspirational, relatable, empowering, and elevating. So if you know someone in need of an inspiration or some motivation, just forward this link to them. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you can be notified when we upload our next video. So, you see, people say that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But our guest this afternoon believes that the way to people's heart is through their stomach. And food is a universal language that everyone speaks. And Rain Malcolm, our guest this afternoon, speaks that language fluently. He is a young entrepreneur, CEO, and founder of Meals by Malcolm, where he serves his meals with a message. This young man is as smart as he is talented. He's currently at Northern Caribbean University pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Tourism and Hospitality Management with an emphasis in food and beverage operations. Langi, his philosophy is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great, because with God, nothing is impossible. Malcolm, welcome. Hi, Irene. Malcolm, welcome to our platform here on Speak Your Truth, the Untold. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me, madam. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
So your philosophy, right?
Mm.
Your philosophy mentions that you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So tell us, how is it that you started in this area, in this field that you're working with? Tell us the field first of all, and a little bit about your business and how it is that you started.
Well, that's a deep one. That's a very deep one. But it all started from, growing up with grandma, seeing grandma in the kitchen. You grew, it's a passion, of course. So you grew grew with the passion and seeing your grandma in the kitchen cooking, especially on a Saturday, and you want to know how this work or how that work. So it grew from there, and then from that's like age 9 going to age 10. Then going into high school now, I really found it as a love. So I did subjects in terms of food and beverage, family and consumer studies, those, and I really did enjoy it. And I found myself doing it, and it was something that I found myself doing without getting tired, actually. So that's when I noticed that it was actually so I noticed that it was a passion of mine, and from I kept on working and just trying to master the craft as best as possible.
So you realized that this is something that you wanted to do long term. Yes. Tell us about, I know that for chefs, a lot of times you have to stand up for hours, to prep and to cook and then to do whatever afterwards. But when was that moment that you realized that this was something that you wanted to pursue as a career?
Well, I mean, in high school, we did tourism. So it was tourism. And I found that persons had the perception that good hospitality did not exist anymore because they had bad experiences from places that they have eaten or even places that... So I wanted to change the perception that, hey, good hospitality still exists. And from the business and my personality, I believe that was possible. Or how can I connect with people and just change their perception? So it's not only about the money, but actually the feeling that you get once we come together. So it's the energy. So it's the energy that an entrepreneur. So it's not about the money, it's the passion.
Oh, potent. Because I mentioned earlier that food is a universal language. No matter what language you speak, whether it's English, whether it's Spanish, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Japanese, we all have to eat. That's one basic necessity that we have. And you are saying that you connect with people through food, right? It must not have been easy for you to start. What are some obstacles that you encountered when you're starting and along the way?
The first thing actually, you know that when you're actually finding your passion, there is nothing easy. But the first thing, or when I was actually or actually made it become serious during high school, when we had practicals, we usually had practicals on a weekly basis. But from my background and so forth, I did not come from a rich family or anyone to give any handout and so forth. So I had to struggle in terms of getting the ingredients, but I had good teachers, of course, back then who they found my potential or saw my potential, and they would assist in any way possible. So it all started from there. So the lack of finances, and then of course, you know, not being as confident as possible, because you know, person would usually say, "Oh, the food industry is saturated, and you have that chef or you have that chef, but what can you bring different to the table?" So it all was playing a mind game, and I knew that that was something I wanted to do. It was not to compete with other person, but to actually find my market and just sit there by myself. So
Right.
that was an obstacle, yeah, our main problem that I found back then.
What I love about you is that a lot of persons use it as an obstacle. The fact that they don't have a lot of finances, they don't have they have the passion, but they don't have that drive to actually start something. They feel like they don't have enough resources. But what I absolutely love about you is that you used it as a motivation instead of a deterrent. You used it to push forward in life instead of, laying backwards and say, the system fights out me when I'm not, I love that you used it to push you to become the man that you are today. Yeah. And that is applaudable, because truth and in fact, there's not a lot of you left. You're very, very rare. You're such a unicorn, to be honest. There's not a lot of men that would actually push themselves to reach this point. And so I think you've now become a beacon to a lot of young men out there that would want to reach their potential, but they don't have the resources. Definitely. And they don't have the finances, and they don't have the motivation, confidence to go forward. And I think your story will be a help to them.
Definitely.
Also, yeah, man. And also, I've heard this a lot. I've heard this field is saturated. And for everybody that has been in any field, mostly they'll hear, Jamaica has too much nurses, Jamaica has too much lawyers, Jamaica has this, too much, this field is saturated. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to go in that field. And you kind of sit there and wondering, well, this is my passion, but is it really my purpose?
Definitely.
And so a lot of times we allow people to deter us because we say, oh, the field is saturated. But you've made the market your own, and that's beautiful. Definitely. So what does your market look like? Because we know that every person has their own varied cuisine. So what does your specific market look like? KFC have fast food, Burger King have burger. What does Meals by Malcolm look like?
Well, for us, it's actually a fusion cuisine, because having experience working overseas, so you kind of merge that with your Jamaican cuisine in terms of what you elevate Jamaican cuisine. But I am more on the healthier side.
I want to hear that. Yeah. When I hear that, he's not only a national chef, but he's an international chef. The man have experience overseas. Continue, yeah.
Yeah, man. So how can we elevate whatever we have locally? Because we all know the jerk chicken or the curry goat, but what can you do with it to elevate? Yeah, what can you do with it to elevate it in a certain way that it can meet international standard? So it goes a far way, and I am more likely on the healthier side. So I study nutrition and see how best you whatever you eat and how it your body reacts with it and so forth. So it's all about giving this. So basically with meal planning, It's the person coming to you and saying, hey, this is my goal. This is what I want to achieve. So I can tailor something for you, meal planning, in terms of giving you suggestions or even cooking for you to meet your dietary needs or whatever goals you have for yourself.
Whoa, so that's potent. It's not only you dashing food on a plate, and just all right, this is a one business. I'm gonna just fry some chicken and some chips. It's not just putting food into people and making sales, but it's actually finding out what's best for their bodies and what's most healthy and giving them that balanced meal and that balanced diet. Whoa, that's potent. And it's I love that it's not just about the money, but it's about what is best for your customers and your clients.
And the quality.
And I think the quality, because it's not only about quantity or the amount that you can get or the amount of sales that you can get out, but it's about the quality meal. And you've used the slogan, meals with a message. How did that come into concept?
Well, the meals with a message now, I didn't want it to be a case where I'm just cooking on a daily basis just for cooking's sake, because it was my passion. But I wanted it to be something that is personal, that if you're having a down day and you actually purchase something from me, you get a little inspirational quote. So you can read that. So it goes up and bring you back in your shape. So even if the food is not good, which the food is good, but reading that quote, it will actually just bring you back, or even a little smile or on a daily.
That's my thing, inspiration. I love that. You're not only feeding the body, but the mind as well. And and we look at how the body holistically works together. Your physical element with your mental element affects the social elements. And I love that you've fused all of that with your business, and with, it's not just about the quantity, but the quality of what the customers get for their mental and their physical well-being. I love that. So we must know, do you have like a favorite meal?
Not really a favorite meal, but there's something as a chef, because you're in the kitchen on a daily basis, so it's not really a favorite, but we like simple things, not because we will cook the exquisite things for our clients, and so we really do like the simple things, So a little curry chicken goes a far way. It goes a far way.
Yeah, wait, hold on. You're saying that you cook exquisite meals for your clients, but you wouldn't mind the simple curry chicken?
Not at all.
Curry chicken and white rice?
Definitely. And some fried
plantain. That's like a 30-minute meal,
And some fried
That's like a 30-minute.
And some fried plantain. I can't leave out the fried plantain at all.
No, we can't leave out the plantain, none at all. Ripe, green, in the middle. Anyway, all the time. So you mentioned in your philosophy that nothing is impossible with God. How has God been instrumental along your journey?
What kind of question? Okay.
Are you figuring me the answer?
Let me don't laugh. But ask the question again, let me answer. So you don't have to edit. Ask the question again. You
mentioned in your philosophy, right, that nothing is impossible with God. You just need to start, and you have to start to be great. But it's nothing is impossible with God. Your wildest dreams can come true. Yeah. How has God been instrumental along your journey?
Well, he has been the center for everything for me since the start. There's a saying that for with God nothing is impossible, and I kept that as a, what you call it now, as a reminder that once you do your part, and you continue to pray to him, he will actually deliver. But it's not on your timing, but his timing. So I've always kept that.
Oh,
I've always kept that as a reminder to just keep pushing, pushing. So you will have rough days, of course, but at the end of the
mhm.
day, nothing lasts forever. So you might have rough days and you will have rough days, but he actually said that he will never leave nor forsake us. So why should we worry? Just continue putting the work and everything will be good in the end.
Oh, potent. Because so much of us, we're warriors, to be honest. We're
Mhm.
anxious about the future, and the thing about starting a business is a risk. It's a risk that a lot of us sometimes don't take. We have the ideas and we sit down, but we do not actually use them or utilize them or allow them to materialize because we fear failure. And hearing you say that, it kind of reminds me that of the verse that say, don't worry about tomorrow because God's God will take care of that. Tomorrow has its own worries, and
Mhm.
the fact that He will never leave us or forsake us. If that business venture is something that becomes successful, then you will know that is God's plan of all along. If you failure, know that a lot of people, they fail many times before they ever reach
Keep trying,
success,
keep trying.
right? And I'm sure that your journey was not easy,
No, no.
and I'm sure that you have a lot more to give to the world. You have a lot more to offer, and you have a lot, ways to go. But you have established for yourself a foundation, and I think that is very important for us as young people to establish a foundation because a lot of times I hear persons say you're in your 20s and it's the time to have fun, it's the time to relax, but really and truly it's the time to work for a better tomorrow. It's a
Definitely.
time to lay a foundation for a better future and the future that you visualize, rather than waiting too late and then when you get to that future you're regretting decisions that you made in the past.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely love that you've laid that foundation for yourself that you can now build on. So one thing I want to ask is, what would you say to a young person who has the passion, but needs just a little motivation because they're saying that they don't have the resources, they don't have the willpower, they don't have what it takes to start a business. What would you say to that young person?
Well, I've said it before, and that is to start no, but start small. Don't think of the big millions at first, but just start no and start small. You have to be realistic and be analytical when you're actually going into business. And it depends on the nature of the business that you're going into. Currently live in an age where technology and social media actually is our best friend. We can actually use it as a marketing tool. So start simple,
Mm-hmm.
and just start putting out content, posting content, whatever business you're doing. Anything that you're doing, it can actually go on online. So once person start to see your work and you keep on just bettering yourself over time, so it goes a far way. Don't get flustered by the amount of likes that you get, or once you know
Mm-hmm.
that you're putting your 100% and you're very passionate
Right.
about it, just keep going. Just the aim is to be consistent. So once you remain consistent, it goes a far way. But start now. That's what I would say. Start now and start small.
Awesome. I think it's important because we live in an age where we're so bombarded by the dream life and the grass being green on the other side, and this person living this life and that person living that life, and we want it so badly that oftentimes we expect to just start and get there immediately.
No,
So I concur with what you say in starting small and working your way to getting where you want to be. What are some qualities that you would say a person needs to start something?
Well, it's all about the mindset.
Resources, talent, skill.
Yeah, it goes a far way, but it starts from the mindset, because once you imagine something, it can actually come to reality. It might seem impossible at first, but once you imagine it, it can actually come to reality. But with the characteristics now, it's all about being dedicated to whatever you have. Be analytical, be realistic, never leave God out of it, of course, pray about it. So keep on praying about it. Yeah, that is very important. So it goes a far way in terms of whatever, but it depends on your era actually. So for me now, as a businessman being in the catering industry, you have to be creative. You have to have time management skills. So those are some of the qualities. So you have to be able to forecast in terms of seeing what nowhere in the pandemic. So before you have to put plans in place to say, how can I push on some of my expenses, or how can I actually maximize on whatever resources that I have at this point. So you have to be realistic and just be dedicated to whatever you're doing.
Oh, I love these gems you're dropping. I love it, love it. All right. So I want to say one final thing before we go, that I totally admire what you've built, what you've done. I think it's, as I said earlier, I think it's a beacon for other young persons to follow. I think it's really admirable that you've built all this structure, and you're still humble, and you still give God the praise he deserves for what he's given unto you. And so I would like to say thank you for coming, Malcolm. Is there anything that you would want to leave with us?
Wow. All right, so I can share one simple thing, and it's my real life PhD, and I consider it my real life PhD. So the P means to always remain patient, the H means to always remain humble, and the D is to be determined in whatever you're doing. So just patient, humble, and determined, and it will definitely carry you far away. Real life PhD. That's a real life PhD.
That's a real life PhD. Yeah. You don't need a doctorate. So we can attach Dr. Malcolm to it now. Real life PhD. All right. So, before you go, you have to leave the people, because, we're kind of hungry now. We had a long conversation. So just leave us with, of course, I'll put your link below in the description so persons can, order or make reservations.
Yep.
But tell them where they can find you.
All right, so you can find me on Instagram at Malcolm_Rain or Malcolm_Cooking, or you can email us at mealsbymalcolm19@gmail.com. Or if you want to contact us, you can contact us 876-773-0753. Or you can visit the website at mealsbymalcolmcatering.com. You can place your order, of course, and everything is done freshly. So just place your order at least 24 hours prior to your pickup. That's if you're ordering a takeout. But once it's an event, at least 2 weeks in advance, please. And we will definitely be looking forward to working with you guys. So thank you once again for having me. It was a pleasure. Yes, madam.
Thanks for coming, Malcolm. And if you're watching this, I think we ought to support our young people. We ought to support our young entrepreneurs and our small businesses. And Malcolm is one such that serves his meals with a message, and not only concerned to gaining from it, but for the customers and the clients to gain from it mentally, physically, and all the allies as well. So thanks for coming, Malcolm. Of course, every one of the information he just gave will be presented in the description. So just click the links, give him a contact, a shout out on Instagram, Facebook, give him a text message, and just support him, team. Yeah. Yeah? All right. So this was Yana Positive with another episode of Speak Your Truth, the Untold. I was here with your special guest, Orain Malcolm.
Yeah,
So now we're going to see you next week because we Thursday at 8 p.m. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you can be notified when we upload our next video.
So what?
Thanks for coming, Malcolm.
But what good?
What good, what good.